Yeah, I'm not. I was like eating a little bit before.
Up? Welcome to the Destiny Nerds podcast. We're going hard in here. Hey, what is up? What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 21. We have made it past 20. This is gonna be a real podcast forever. Yo, tonight we have a crazy guest. I'm not gonna introduce him yet, even though you can see him. If you're listening, you can't see him, but in the future you're gonna know who he is because you're reading this. Anyways, first up we have right underneath me now, which is different than usual, is Havoc. Havoc, what's up, bro?
Why to be underneath you?
Oh my god.
What? It's not that kind of
We went right there, okay?
We had to.
Starting off strong.
Havoc, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. So an update of last week's story. My clan finally entered the Vault of Glass. We got into the door. So yeah,
That's
we
huge.
completed it. One of my clanmates got the Vex to drop for him, and I got nothing but Found Verdicts and Vision of Confluences.
Congrats.
It's a bummer. But yeah, we did it. We got into the door, and I'm happy about it.
Good. Well, it's good to see you, bro. All right, Maddox, what's up, dude? Tell me about you.
What's up, man? Catch me at twitch.tv/Maddox. We just recently got done doing a charity stream, raised almost $1,000 for St. Jude. So
Nice.
very soon have on Thursday we have a continuation of the charity fundraising for St. Jude with a charity tournament. So Thursday 6 p.m.
Heck yeah, bro.
Really excited. Oh.
That's awesome. If you're listening to this 3 years from now, it's over and my team won, but
Yeah,
thank you so
you
much for
can't
doing
join.
that.
True.
And then I'm Bearded Luke. I'm not interesting. This is the cool thing about today. We have a super awesome guest. So we have the evanf1997. Welcome, bro.
Yo, welcome in. How you guys doing? How you guys hanging?
Dude, I'm so happy you're here.
Happy, bro.
This is a
Truly.
legend. And if you're listening, you know who Evan is. Evan is a very awesome content creator. I found him originally from my friend Dr. Shabby, who we've talked about on here. He used to send me your videos and he'd say, yo, check these out. This is really good. It was like a lore video or something. And it was, dude,
Ooh.
I was like, ooh, this dude knows what's up. And then the next day after he sent me your video, you rated me. So like,
Oh yeah, I remember that actually.
that was
I remember that very well.
That was that was a special, so I really appreciate that. But dude, we're so pumped to have you here tonight. I know all three of us are. We were talking about it this week. Like, this is exciting to have not only a really awesome dude, like personally, but you're a super successful content creator. You're partnered on Twitch. You're also a big YouTuber. That's what I like to think of you as. You make some
Well, yeah,
very good
thank you.
content, dude. So I'm excited. Thanks for taking time on a Sunday night to come chill with us and talk about Destiny, talk about you, all that good stuff. But we are going to ask you some stuff here at the beginning because we want to know like about you, like as a person, as a streamer, all that kind of stuff. But dude, I can start it, and Havoc and Maddox, you can pop in whenever you want as
Sure.
we kind of converse. But dude, I just would love to know your story with, like, we'll start with streaming and then we can kind of go outside of that. But I'd love to know your story with like gaming and streaming. How did gaming turn into streaming / turn into making YouTube videos / or vice versa? Like tell us where that comes from.
I mean, I always played games when I was younger and loved watching YouTube videos, and kind of like since I was younger, I had like no clue what I wanted to do other than make videos and play games. And I loved sports for a long time, and I still do, but definitely was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And that was kind of it. And I was just like, I want to beeline it to doing this. I didn't know exactly that I wanted to do the type of content that I do or like the game at the time, but I was like, I want to make I want to do YouTube. Like that was literally the goal since I was like a kid, or I guess like 10, maybe 12. It was just like, I want to make videos.
What YouTubers were you watching early on?
Oh man, I was in YouTube like back when it was like White Boy 7th Street versus X-Jaws.
X-Jaws.
And
Ooh.
oh my god. It was like throwback days, like where like a Call of Duty YouTuber would put up a 5-minute video that was like killing 5 people, and it was like 1 million views because nobody else was doing it.
Yeah.
So like, and I remember like how things have changed so hard because there's like, and honestly, this would be like a cool story down the road one day if I ever like expand into just like gaming stories like for people across YouTube. But like X-Jaws was a weird one because like he was doing so well for himself that he posted a video that was like, I'm super proud, I bought a car, thank you guys for helping me buy this car. And everybody was like, get rid of this guy, how dare he make money off of us watching his videos. And so he just like completely died out because he made a video being proud of his accomplishment.
Oh my gosh.
That's how much YouTube has changed now.
Now it's like there's full series built around stuff that the community that people built helped them make. Just like full houses full of stuff. Like, yo.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's crazy. Like, things have changed so much since YouTube back then. But I'm like, I mean, you don't see intros anymore that have like that epic dubstep at the beginning. You know,
With the name popping up, like
with the machinima, we had the cool little machinima intro.
oh
yeah.
So let's just start with this, because did you start on YouTube first or Twitch first? Which or did you do them at the same time?
So I started. Okay, well, this is an origin story.
Origin stories.
I started on YouTube back in 2014, I would say. And I was actually making videos. I was making videos for Madden. That was my thing. Like, I loved Madden Ultimate Team because it was actually fun for a while. Like, loved Madden Ultimate Team. And then I was like, you know what? Like, not really feeling this game. I'm gonna go make Destiny videos. I'm so mad at myself for doing this, but I had like a Destiny video from 2014 when the beta was out that was like the best Glimmer farm route, and it had like 10,000 views on it. But then I was like, and I also had one for like another Glimmer thing later on because we thought Glimmer was gonna be like the main currency of Destiny, and so like
we were wrong.
Oh, we were so off. And then like, so I ended up deleting those, and I had like this one video talking about like Galahorn nerfs and like all this other stuff, and I ended up deleting those videos because I was like, I'm a Madden guy, I'm not a Destiny guy. And then I just kind of took a break for a while because I just wasn't really finding content to like fulfill me. And then I went to college, and then ended up like one summer I worked for this guy that was it was a video production job. And the guy was super weird and kind of creepy, and I hated the job because I was like an editor that basically got pushed everything on him without any direction, and then got like yelled at for not getting good direction on things. And then right after that, I was like, you know, I'm going to commit to school and to content. So I had a bunch of money saved up so I could like chill just fine. And then I ended up like streaming on Twitch. Started doing variety, got into Destiny when Forsaken, like got back into Destiny when Forsaken came out, and then just streamed it like crazy, and then started making some guides, and yeah, and then things kind of progressed.
It kind of like started to form into what you wanted it to be. That's sweet. So
Kind of just answered my next question. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I was going to ask where you started with Destiny, but we always like to hear your Destiny story as well.
Yeah, we do love the Destiny story. Before the Destiny story, where's Evan F? Like, why did you name yourself Evan F1997? Is that literally like your first and then last initial, and then when you were born? Is that what it means, or is there like a story to the name?
No, there's no story to the name. It's just like my gamer tag from Xbox 360. It was like when everybody did that stuff on 360. So dude, like it was literally just that, and I just was like, you know, I'm not going to change it. People are just going to get used to it.
Heck yeah! It reminds me, my first name for the longest time was Luke Carr 17. Like that was my name because my name's Luke Carmichael, and 17 is my favorite number, so it was just Luke Carr 17 until bearded Luke was born at GCX.
Yeah, no, there was like nothing else to it. It was literally just like, yeah, no, it was tough. I've thought about changing my name to just like Evan F or just like. Just something else, but then it was like the channel's already way too big. Not gonna do that.
You can't get rid of it. It's like I think it's sweet. It's like quirky, you know, because you got like the date in there, and we all are gonna know how old you are forever, I guess. So
true. I never get carded.
You're at the bar.
I was older than you, but I am.
They're like, "Can you?
1 year.
Are you 21? Just check out my Twitch account." Like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on.
Follow me on Twitter, bro. Come on.
Give him my business card. They're like, oh shit, he has his birth date in there. All right, you're good.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
Yeah. So Maddox, go for it.
I'm always curious because I've played Destiny since it came out. I'm always curious about, you know, you said you started with Destiny, then kind of took a break. What brought you back on to Forsaken? Like you said earlier, that's when you kind of picked it back up. So.
So like. There was that end of the era for Destiny 1, which I think everybody can agree was like a really good kind of like tie the knot, make it like a solid overall game. You could pick it up at any time and it would be great. And And then Destiny 2 came out, and I just felt like almost a sense of guilt for trying to get my friends that ditched Destiny 1 to play Destiny 2. So I was like, okay, this game is just not, like, trust me, this is not the Destiny that we all like. Like, this isn't the game. At launch it was okay. Like, the first couple weeks were really good, just because it was like different and new. But then, like,
You saw the flaws.
I saw the flaws pretty quickly. Like, it ran out really quickly. And then Curse of Osiris was just really bad. It was just one of those DLCs that I don't think ever should have been ready, or it was not ready, or shouldn't have been approved the way that it was. And it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. And there was just so many people, and everybody just left. I didn't have any like kind of commitment to Destiny as hard either. Like, I love I love Destiny 1 and I played it all the time, but I didn't have like the commitment. Like, it wasn't my job to cover Destiny content when Curse of Osiris came out. So I was like, I'm going to take a break, because there's not only Overwatch that came out like that year, but there was also Fortnite came out. There was just so many other games that were making their waves. And there were so many people that were like, Destiny just completely flopped. So I was just like, yeah, I'm going to wait until it's better, because they're going to do this eventually.
True. That's a good. And then, so Forsaken came around, and that kind of sparked your interest again, I'm assuming?
Forsaken.
As it did to a lot of people. So, I mean.
Forsaken was. Because it wasn't just like Forsaken. It was the fact that, you took a long break and it was Forsaken. It was like. Right. The biggest piece of content we ever got, almost like an apology package in a way to their fans, and like a very, very, very solid year of content after taking a very long break and looking for a reason to get back into Destiny.
Yeah, because that was whenever they switched over from double primary back over to the specials and heavies and primary, and also took away static roles as well too, which I think that's what kind of screwed a lot of people with vanilla D2. For me personally as well too, what kept me playing D1 all throughout the whole entire 3 years of its existence was chasing god rolls, chasing rolls that you could, they're always different every time you get a gun, but then going into D2, this first Better Devils was the same as the 35th Better Devils that you got, So I feel you that a lot of people I talk to now would say Forsaken not only was the best Destiny 2, but what brought them back to it. And I hope we can get back to those days, man. I truly hope so. So that's interesting.
I think we're on a good path getting back there, but to kind of go off of that, a lot of people don't know this part either. It wasn't just the random rolls being gone and the double primary. It was also the fact that the game was slow. Like, they purposely made it slow. They made the abilities regen very slow. Like, you were lucky to get one super in a PvP match, like that kind of stuff. So they made the game really, really dry, almost to try to make it more PvP focused, but that just wasn't going to work.
Yep, I do remember that. A lot of people said the reason they took that push was to make it more quote unquote esports, but obviously that kind of bit them in the butt. So awesome. Well, I always love to hear people's Destiny stories, so that's awesome.
Destiny.
What do you, and you've been playing it ever since Forsaken, I'm assuming?
Yeah. I don't think I've taken a break. Maybe Season of the Hunt I took a break for a little bit.
Yeah,
but I haven't really taken a break since Forsaken came out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
And dude, so like when you this is like kind of Destiny-ish related. When you like make your YouTube videos, they're very like I would like, you're giving information, but it's very good storytelling the way that you do it. What does that stem from? Like, that doesn't just come like it is a gift, but like, did you study? I know you said you did some production stuff. Like, what did you go to school for? Why are you good at this stuff? Basically.
Yeah. So like, I always like writing, and I always watch, like, my favorite kind of YouTubers to watch and people that take some inspiration from are like Summoning Salt, Skill Up is another really good one. Donkey, Video Game Donkey is another really good one. Actman, like all these other kind of commentary YouTubers for gaming is what I take some inspiration from. Then I throw in very much my own voice and my own flair to things. I actually went to college in San Francisco State, for a focus in writing for TV. So that definitely helps.
There you go.
Like, I'm a writer at the end of the day.
I can tell. Like you're
There you go.
because people don't. I mean, some people probably don't know this, but like you don't just like turn the mic on and press record and then your whole video just comes out of your mouth. Like there's a lot of time and effort. We were talking before the podcast even started, like your process with like whatever video you're working on now, like the amount of time it takes just to write it before you even start recording. And then I can't even imagine like what on earth, how much time does it take to do like a full video where you have to like capture video for it? Like you actually have to like record video for it and then also record your audio and write your script and like all that, like the whole process. Is the creative process crazy, or do you have help?
I think that answers it.
It's insane. There are some times, or especially when I look back at like last year more than this year, because this year I've been fortunate enough to have an editor taking care of some stuff. Like he's had to take his breaks and I've had to do some stuff every once in a while. But oh my God. So last year, I'll just give you a good example of like how crunched and how much I crunched myself to try to because I was just so obsessed with like the idea of just growing the channel and also making really good videos. Mm-hmm. So there was a week, this is probably the best example. There was a week it was the Leviathan video. It was like June or July of last year, maybe like August, because I wanted to get all the Destiny 2 raid videos out before Beyond Light came out. That was like my goal, was like get all the ones that are going to be leaving the game out before Beyond Light comes out. So I put out a 41-minute video from start to finish production, like literally wrote the script, went through the creative process, knocked down everything that I needed to knock down, got all the references. Because I go through, I don't know if you've ever read the descriptions, but I put all the links to every single channel, every single like picture, every single website, every single song. Like there's links to everything so that people can check out. Mm-hmm. And I try to do my best to credit people, because that's one thing that I don't like to do, is like use a video but then not give credit to people, because I think credit's like always very important and people are going to feel burnt if you don't. Yeah. And I mean, it's a cool way to like promote their stuff too, right? So I put out that video. It took me I put out 2 videos before that. The week before that I put out a 5-minute video, which was really easy, and then a 20-minute video, and then that one being 41 minutes scripting to final product was a week. And that was crazy, because I think on Sunday night I started at 9 in the morning and I stayed up until like 9 in the morning the next day just to get it out.
Man.
Wow.
I love that. The grind of a good video. Does it feel good? Like, cause your stuff is getting like it's working. Like people, cause I just finished a doc and it's the first time that I've put like months of time into something. And then when it went live on YouTube, on the channel that it went to, it was like, it got really good viewership and it was so nice. Like, not that the only reason I make this stuff is, it's not the views, it's more of like the entertainment value. It's like, oh my gosh, people are actually being entertained by this thing that I spent time on. Does that help push you to like more videos and like to get more ideas, or is it kind of like a self-fulfillment that you're just making stuff in general? Are you just like an artist?
So like, I'll say this, and I know like anybody in here and anybody watching who is into like content or into like any type of creative field, the only thing that sucks is like when you feel like you're doing the same exact thing. Mm-hmm. Like that's the only thing that I really don't like, is like when you feel like nothing has changed at all. You haven't evolved anything at all. And it just, even the writing feels the exact same formula, like, start to finish stuff. That's the only thing that gets in the way. But when you have like that idea on your mind, when you have something cooking, you're like, I know exactly how I want this to start. I know exactly like the message, the end, yada, yada, yada. I feel like you can just pump through that much quicker. Like right now, the Vaulted Glass video, like I had a little bit of a dead stop at first because I was like, okay, I don't know how I want to phrase this. And then, talking to the world's first team, they were in second place for Deepstone Crypt. So kind of taking that angle of like, okay, this team was right there. They were on the cusp of victory. Now we can have it as their almost like redemption raid, and we can use that story and like kind of propel that and make sure that they're like treated like they're like they're really, really humbled about it and stuff. So I mean, to go back to your question about like how long does it take for a video, it can take anywhere between 40 to 120 to 200 hours to get a video out. It really just depends.
Wow,
I love it.
that's insane.
Dude,
That's-
I love people getting to hear that because it just puts it into perspective. And
Oh,
it
well,
makes you appreciate
that's-
your videos even more. Like I appreciate
people
your
only
videos.
see the video, don't see the background and stuff like that. That the hard work that it takes.
People
to
in the
produce,
comments, the people, the bad comments in there. It's like, shut
Yeah.
up.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. Like people who were, I remember there was this thing, right? Because like I would put like a clip, and I'd either ask for permission or like I figured, they're not gonna mind if I put a clip of them giving them full credit of their thing, to promote it to more people. And there'd be people who would go into my comments and be like, "This guy just steals footage and steals content and steals all." It's like, okay, like cool. I'm glad that you're the one. Like, it's the same people that are like, this video is shit, and it's like, okay, I can't wait for your video. Like, let's see you do it.
They're also the first one to watch every time, even though they're saying it every time.
They're just waiting there, waiting for that to drop that comment on that fresh video, just letting you know that it's horrible.
The
I'll take
YouTube
that for
comments,
interaction. I
bro.
don't care.
Right.
The YouTube
I do have
comment
a
section.
question. So you ever had a video or an idea like in the midst of like writing the script or whatever? You ever had like a writer's block where like you just couldn't? I don't know. Like, was there ever a project or a video you were working on that it just didn't come together? You had this great grand idea of the video, and then it just never came out because you just couldn't, get to the point where you felt like, yeah, this was good. Because you don't seem like the type of guy who just puts out anything. Like, you put 110% into everything, and if you don't feel that way about a video that you make, it's not coming up. You ever had anything, maybe recently, anything?
Let's see. I would say the one that took a while, and it only took a while because I knew how it was going to be received from people. The raid ranking video took a while, and then also the season 13 explained video took a while, and I'll tell you why. It's not because it's really fun ranking raids. It's because
follow up now, since you said ranking raids. That's been kind of a theme for us every week. So yeah, continue.
Of course, yeah. So like, the raid ranking video, I love like just trying to be as objective while also being like, obviously I gotta throw my subjective opinions in there, but
Right.
I like being more objective with a raid ranking video. So I remember, like, I knew going into that video, I was like, okay, people are going to be mad about this no matter what I do. No matter what I say, people are going to be mad. And I ended up, like, I wrote it a bunch of different times, and then I just had to sit there and think about, like, well, what about, like, I had to, like, do this bargaining for, like, other people. And then I just I took a walk outside, I worked out, and then I came back in, and I was just like, yeah, I really don't care what other people think, because like I'm not going to bargain for what somebody else's opinion is on this. Like, this is I literally have covered all of these raids, have played them so many times, know the insides and outs, know the point of view of the new player versus the point of view of the player that has played it 100 times in speedruns. It, like, I feel like if there's anybody that's qualified to have an opinion on raids, it's probably me. So like I just stopped. I just stopped that bargaining, and then that video came out a lot easier.
Yeah, I'm skimming through the video now, your ranking video, and I could see people being, I could see it. I could see people
What
being
was ranked? Is it S tier? Was it one of the tier makers?
No, it's just
no.
1 through whatever. Yeah.
okay.
1 through 12. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I'm
What
skimming
was your
through
number
it, like,
one? What was your number 12? I'd love to hear it.
My
yeah,
number
Last
one,
Wish, I think, is number one.
number one was Last Wish. The last one was Eater of Worlds, but Garden was a very close second.
Gotcha. I can agree with all that.
And the only one that like I go back and forth on is Scourge, because it was a really cool raid and I enjoy that raid. But I think about it from the overall perspective of like a new player going into that raid.
Yeah.
And I just think like every single person that I've talked to in an LFG group kind of agrees that like the raid is pretty short, pretty like it's pretty fast paced. It's not bad, but it's also not like better than what else was out there. And so I try to put in perspective of like if these things came out today, how would they feel? The other video that I did not like making by the end was the season 13 explain video, and I don't think I'm going to make another video like that. And the reason why is because while I find that there are some toxic people in the community, and I'm not going to give them attention, but there are. the season 13 explain video, it's like the lore community came out swinging. You know, like
Oh,
I made a
gosh.
joke. I made a
Oh,
joke
no.
about how they tried to kill Zavala's ghost, and they were like, I mean, there was like a mega thread of how I'm stupid and how they were just trying to kidnap
Oh
his
my
ghost. And I'm like,
gosh.
well, you know, it was a joke. I'm sorry, guys. Like,
Just went right over their head.
We can't
Yeah.
do anything about it.
Damn, you
Joker
having
on
a
you.
sense of humor, right? So right, man.
Dude, I love it, bro. And I noticed you've been doing some like, I know you do mainly a lot of Destiny stuff, but are you moving like on your channel? I've seen some Outrider stuff. I mean, you're wearing an Outrider shirt. What went on with that? I know this is Destiny podcast, but I'm interested because I haven't talked to anyone that was like kind of connected with Outriders. What's your like connection with Outriders and like that kind of world of content you're making?
it was cool. I said from the very get-go, like I said to people on the video on stream all the time, I told them, I was like, you know, this is going to be a solid week or two game, but I wouldn't look any deeper than that. I made a review for Outriders because I don't know, personally, like that's something that I really want to do is branch out into other content, right? Like I made a video on Pokemon before, on like Pokemon cards, and how like, you know, a lot of people like yourself, Luke,
Yeah.
have been busting boxes open, and I enjoy more of the community aspect of things, of just like gaming world. One of the things that I've told my chat about, which I definitely plan on getting into after some time later in the summer, maybe, I want to dip into the world's first races for the Call of Duty Zombies Easter eggs, because that is just the same type of community where it's like, that is really, really cool, and there's a lot of cool stories there. Like my connection to Destiny will always be there, always, but I also really, really like the whole idea of like the stakes are hot, like almost a summoning salt type of thing, where it's like, you know, you get to talk about just the world of stuff, because I'm not saying like Destiny is stale for me, but I just really enjoy the idea of like, hey, I could be the guy that talks about community stories for everything, even if it's like a small thing. Like there was a story of how Hollow Knight, for the next game for Hollow Knight Silksong, the developers put out an ARG, and like the whole entire community had to solve that. We have that for Destiny, and I've covered those before, but like nobody's really covering the Hollow Knight stuff. Like I think that would be cool.
Yeah, not
So
in your style
there's
too.
always cool stuff.
Because you make like mini docs basically about community things, which is so unique. Like nobody really does that. And you find a cool way to do it, because usually I sit here, I'm like, man, how the heck would I do that? I got to go film people. No, you're like legit finding ways to do it in a really unique way. So is that kind of like the route? Like what's your, like, I don't always ask this, but I'm interested in people that are like on a successful stream of, and we're going to talk about Destiny soon, I promise, but just you're interested.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
But like, do you have like, do you have goals, end goals, or I know you have yearly goals. I saw that on your Twitter, but do you have like, where do you want to be like with this stuff? Like what's like your dream when it comes to content or your life or whatever?
I mean, I'm probably right. So my goal this year, or I guess not this year, but in the next like few years, is to get myself. I'm actually going to be moving probably to Texas soon. I'm in California right now, and it's
Nice.
really expensive to do everything, and kind of hard, you know, just to live your life the way that you can like take risks and stuff, without moving somewhere else that, you know, better affords the type of content that you're doing. But as far as life goes, I mean, my goal would be always to have something to do in the entertainment world, whether it's like whether it's gaming, movies, TV, whatever, anything in the entertainment world, just making content, streaming or on YouTube. I just love making content, you know. That's kind of the goal. Like I've thought about it, you know, through the ups and downs. I've had bad months, I've had good months, and you know, it's honestly, I just love doing it. I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
That's awesome. Dude.
Awesome.
And it was cool to see.
is fantastic.
We were all watching the saga of your partnership, like getting partnership on Twitch, which for whatever reason they took so stinking long to make happen. But
Oh, they took like 8 tries. I was like, what is going on? I'm at 150 average. Like, Twitch, please, man.
you were like, I saw
Wow.
you. You were like, please don't host me. Please don't raid me.
Yeah.
Like
I was
they
like, they're
won't.
gonna deny me again, please.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
dude. Sick, bro.
I
Well,
think,
thanks.
I think it's time to talk about what we're all here for.
Destiny,
Yeah.
man.
Destiny.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for letting me just chat your head off
Dude,
for 30
your
minutes.
Yeah,
your
of
story
course.
is fantastic. I loved hearing that. That's awesome.
You're unique.
I like I said, some of us never get to or haven't spoke to Evan yet, so I'm always interested to hear your backstory, and that's fantastic. So
yeah, and check out that
appreciate you sharing
stash
that
you're
with us.
growing. Are you growing a stash?
It
looks like it.
No, yes and no. I'm like trimming down the beard, and then I like have a little bit of little bit of extra stash, but like I definitely not gonna grow a full on
It
fireman.
looks nice. Just saying.
I could grow a fireman stash, but I've decided not to.
Okay.
I think we should take a poll.
Fireman's chat. Say what?
If it was for charity, I'm sure he would grow a fireman's mustache.
All the hair went from my head to my stash, dude. It's tough.
That's the worst part about getting old.
One thing I want to talk to you about a lot is like we were talking before the stream, whatever, with our little meeting, and you said you've been in VOG since it came out.
Yeah.
Why? Do you said you loved it? Like what do you love so much about VOG that you haven't really done much else?
There's a few things, right? Like number one, I love I obviously like raids are just always fun. Like having 6-player activities and especially raids, always super fun. With Vaulted Glass though, like it's not only the best place to be doing your stuff. Oh, that's fancy. They're margarita. Okay. All right, cool. But it's not only like the best place to be doing your stuff, but it's also like very much the newest raid out in the game. And so the other thing, which, I'm sure there's some people in chat. I thought I saw Quaz earlier in here. Quaz is from the world's first team, by the way.
I saw that. I was fangirling a little.
And I mean, I enjoy doing challenges in the game. And so I'm trying to get like good gear and like get a really good understanding. I've been watching a bunch of streams of like people who are doing challenges because I'm thinking about jumping into doing some like low man challenges, like solo Templar and like 3-man stuff, 2-man stuff. Like it's just fun doing that stuff. Because I feel like for the people that play raids all the time and like love and kind of live in the raids, Destiny raids on normal mode and just in general, they're not as hard as they used to be for people that have been playing the game for like 7 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is. So giving yourself that extra level of challenge that you can just be proud of and be like, yeah, there's only a few people in the world that have done this. This is something I want to test myself and be proud of. Like, definitely just love that stuff. And it's just always fun content to just jump into the raid. Because, I mean, until this video's out, I'm pretty much like locked and tied to this raid. Like, that's all I think about. So,
dude, plus your clan does all that. Like, your clan's known for low man stuff, right?
Right,
Obtained.
Yeah, they're a lot of those goblins are known for Gambit and that's just a dummy. But Gambit raids, day one racing, and all that other stuff. But yeah, we had some people doing some Gambit stuff. My God, they were like, I think it was a couple of them were like, yeah, we have to get dredging because they were like doing this meme where they were gonna transmog all their armor into Vaulted Glass. So they decided to transmog a full, what was it, like Invader set, or I don't know if it was Invader or if it was like one of the sets. They were going to transmog the full set, bring it into Vaulted Glass on day one with Dredgen 2. It was the Reaper set, yeah. They were going to bring Dredgen 2, like Gilded Dredgen 2. So a couple of them literally had Dredgen 2 done in 24 hours. And that requires 50 wins of Gambit. I was like, okay, you guys need to stop. You guys are goblins right now.
Thank you. Now, with VOG, do you do helps as well, too? Or you just mainly just kind of play with your clan, your friends? How do you attack VOG, I guess?
I mean, I play with anybody. Like I enjoy playing with obviously like friends and clanmates and other content creators, but like I'll jump in there with chat. I'll jump in there with whoever. Like it doesn't really matter. I just enjoy playing the raid.
Yeah. It's fantastic raid. Like we were talking about this before it came out a couple weeks back about how just beautiful it is. It's a gorgeous raid, especially being reissued onto a PC where we're all at 130, 140 frames, whatever we're at. It's just
big FOV. It looks so good.
And we load in day one, and the cutscene is not 30 FPS, and it
that was so good.
It just felt amazing. You're just like, okay, this is gonna be a good raid.
Good job.
It was based off that.
My God, that was the most satisfying part of the whole day one.
For real?
Just that 60 FPS cutscene. I was like, they can do this? What is going like
right?
And yeah, the raid, like, you know, I have all that footage, and I've gone back and done the old raid, and like the way they updated it was very faithful to like what the atmosphere would feel like in 2020, like what people would remember it as, but not actually see it as. So it was a very faithful remaster.
Now, what are your thoughts on the difference in mechanics? Because I'm assuming you've done VOG from Destiny 1?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
So what are your thoughts on the mechanic changes with how the oracles and different things like that? What were your...
They made a lot of sense. Like, all honesty, the mechanic changes made sense for what Destiny 2 would need to like keep things interesting. My whole thing with VOG, and this may answer all the other surrounding questions around VOG. This is something that I wrote into the script, so let me see if I can like find the exact line that I put. But essentially, like let me just give like a little like overview of a broader point, right?
You go right ahead.
Vault of Glass in Destiny 1 in 2014. There's no like there's no rating that's happening in first-person shooters. Destiny, everybody thinks, is literally a first-person shooter first, RPG, whatever else second, right? Like it's gonna be, it's a console shooter. People are just gonna, you know, use their primaries, go into Crucible, kill some people, whatever. That's what a lot of people thought. I myself included when it first came out. Now, the only people that were really ready for anything even close are the people that were into MMOs, like Datto and Prime Guard at the time. Like, they were ready for something. They were ready to like try Vault of Glass. They were ready to like see what it was all about. It wasn't advertised well at all. Like, it's hard to even find a good quality trailer of Vault of Glass. It was not advertised, and it was like very much a niche thing that just happened to come out the second Friday of the game. So like people were like, okay, whatever, what is this?
Wow, I didn't know it even came out that quick.
Oh, yeah, it came out the week after, and then on that Friday, and it was level 26, right? But that was when the leveling system, you got to 20, and then from there you had to grind your butt off, and you had to get like light levels from just gear and upgrading that gear, and it took forever. So most of them were like level 22 going into it, and that's a level 26 raid, obviously. So everything is hurting them really badly. So that like world's first taking 14 hours like makes sense because of the time and all this other stuff. VOG now getting toasted the way that it did, and it's still being like 4.5 hours, like I think on challenge mode when it was all said and done. Like, you know, the regular run was like 1 hour and 43 minutes, and then like challenge mode, I think everything, all things considered, it was really well like received, like really faithful. And I think a lot of people would say it was better than even Deepstone Crypt's like challenge for day one, because like it was just more punishing. But I think a lot of people would agree that VOG back then, it's always going to be impossible to top that original first time experience, but it was as faithful and as good of a raid as you could have done for a remaster.
I can agree with every sentence that you just spoke. Yes. Is it me being mainly PvP, and I was just kind of going into VOG because it's day one. I didn't have to do much prepping and stuff like that, so not much stress. You know, the new content's out, get to kind of vibe and listen to all the new different stuff, and just going in there and just experiencing VOG again. It was just like, wow, this was, I was not disappointed in the slightest. You know, it took me 12 hours in total for both regular and challenge, and it just fantastic. I was very happy with the experience. So
I'm loving it too right now, because I'm still like, I don't remember the last time. I mean, I guess maybe at the beginning of Beyond Light, right when it came out, I was doing all 3 characters a week, rating on all 3. Now I've like literally done like 9 VOGs this week, like between all, like I'm just doing it for fun. Like, so I'm like, I'm getting on. I'm like, does anyone want to do it? Like, does anyone need it? Like, I just want to play it if that's cool. Because like I'm saving for spoils now because I want a sick Fatebringer, and I finally got the drop. So like now I'm like literally just doing it to get spoils. So then at the end I can cash in, which is making it worth doing it, as well as,
I was gonna say, the farmability of the raid as well too is fantastic.
As well as doing the challenges, because I'm a seal boy, so I'm trying to get this. What's it called? Fate Breaker? Is that what the seal's called?
Yeah, I think it's called like Fate Breaker.
It's a sweet
which
name.
Like it's cool. It's a really cool name. I'm definitely like, I'm excited for Master to come out, just because that'll be more, like just more stuff to do. You know?
Yeah. What do you think's gonna be in Master? Like, do you have any like predictions?
It'll just have harder enemies is my thought, and then like I think there's gonna be adept versions of the weapons,
Oh, nice.
but
are
I don't
the
think there's gonna be anything
time
else to it.
lost. The time,
Time
lost,
lost,
weapons,
yeah.
Dude, what if
So,
they're
I'm-
what if they're fixed rolls, like, but they're like the ones from like the OG fixed rolls somehow, or some sort of nice fixed roll? I don't know.
I mean, if they are, then they are. But personally, like giving me something to do every single week, because like my guess, this is how I think it's gonna go. I think spoils are always gonna be like the regular loot, but I think once a week you'll be able to run master and get time lost drops, and have like those because if you think about it, right? If trials is supposedly on the same playing field, it's not at all. But if it was, then going flawless in trials, you're only a chance at the adept loot. So if time lost stuff, you get one from every single time you clear VOG for the master version. It would be cool. I would love that. But I also think like Bungie is going to make it so those are like once a week per character. You get the extra chest, and that has the time lost weapon, and then there's nothing for spoils.
Yeah.
So
Maybe more spoils drop at the end, maybe like 10 instead of 5 too.
Yeah, true.
So you're saying that each chest, so every loot drop is going to be a time loss chance, or are you saying just the
Yeah.
end?
I think like it would be the same type of chest that Tempo's Edge had for day one, where it was
Okay,
like
so it's a
there's
double.
2 chests. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you'll be. I wonder if it'll be you can run master and you get all the drops, like you get the normal drop. And is that what you're referring to? You get the normal.
Yeah, the normal and then
Cool.
the time loss thing with
That would
it.
be
Yeah.
awesome. That would be a lot of fun, and I hope because that way you don't have to do double rating. I guess you could say.
It's easy to do that on D1. You pick either the normal or the
You
hard.
say you do the harder, and
you get the double drop.
that would
Exactly.
be awesome. That would be awesome. I like you were saying, Luke, about static rolls. I hope not. And the reason is because of the farmability. I don't want to just get a fate bringer and then never have to worry about doing master ever again, you know.
I wish they had brought back the curated rolls. So like you get the curated Fatebringer or a curated Vision of Confluence.
That's
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm saying, like a curated
So
version.
I think I could be wrong, and maybe I'm out of place here on saying this, but I had heard rumors that there was curated roles that you could get from the time lost. I don't want to like quote anything on that, but I had heard that that there is like a curated role of thing, but that was also before VOG even came out, so maybe people were making that assumption for those two, and it didn't happen. I miss curated roles too. Curated roles are great. Like that was a cool idea. They need to bring that back.
Yeah,
I
just
agree.
like one of
Well,
them. But
there
then,
were some of them that were kind of horrible, but then some of them they're like, okay, this is literally the best perk set you could possibly get, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or for the raid, this is the best perk set, and then you know that's the gun you're going to use from now on in the raid or something like that. So
that's, yeah.
I'd be interested to see, and with VOG, as we all remember in D1, the guns that you got from VOG did more damage to oracles and stuff like that. I believe now they've kind of moved all that to the mod system. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but you can only put those on VOG armor. So that's that to me is a fantastic thing. Not only because you have to VOG armor all just went into my PvP stuff. So now I have an incentive to keep the armor and not just infuse it.
yeah,
So
instantly.
I'm curious. I haven't really taken much time into that because the raid has just been simple. But I'm curious how much more of a need those mods might be for the master. You think they might take more precedence, or have you even
Yes and no. I think like we have Charged with Light, we have we have like Warmind Cell mods, we have Protective Light. Like VOG mods, there's a really good one where you shoot an oracle and you get so much super energy. Like it takes 3 oracles and you have full super. But like as far as the mods go for like oracle damage, right? Like let's just use that as an example. I mean, Xenophage is gonna one-shot them because it one-shot them on contest as well. So
Okay.
like
That's true, yeah, I
there's just
remember
gonna be like loadout wise. I guess it depends on what you run. It's always nice to have more options and just for frying the stuff. Like it's always really nice for that. But is it gonna be necessary? Probably more necessary than Deepstone Crypt, but not really necessary.
I feel you. So run it because you can, but not because you absolutely need it. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Like Garden, you needed to run the mods to an
Yes.
extent if you
Yeah.
wanted like a one phase. but it got really annoying having to keep like a garden set at all times, which I was happy that they eventually, well, actually, I don't know. I think they changed it back, but originally they had it so, if you had armor, you could throw the garden mods on that armor. VOG stuff, I'm very much okay with it only being on that because transmog existing makes it so you need armor sets that have their own mods to them, or else, a million different things you're never gonna have to worry about armor.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. The VOG armor in itself is now a little bit more valuable than just getting it for pinnacles or anything like that. So
Dude,
I'm
no,
happy they're
definitely
kind of moved in that direction. So
I just deleted like every piece of armor from my vault this weekend. Like
Really?
I went through that today and deleted a lot of stuff as well too.
I don't know if it was a bad decision, but I was like I saved like every piece of raid armor, every piece. I got rid of all of it. I was like, I haven't
How
done
many blues
any of this.
How many blues did you have in your
None.
vault,
I
buddy?
didn't have any blues.
Okay, all right,
I just
good.
had a ton of like random armor pieces and like every cloak, but I had like 400.
52, like just a 52.
I'm
chest
serious.
piece or something.
Yeah, the worst stuff you could ever imagine just sitting
Oh
in there.
goodness.
But dude, all
Oh
right.
my God.
Do you think we should talk about stasis?
I would love
the
to.
big
Go for
thing
it.
that's
Nick's
gonna.
dribbling at the mouth. I think he's something.
I think that's where I kind of
Go
come into
for
play.
it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So
It's all yours, man.
PvP is a big thing in my world of streaming it, playing it, helping with it and stuff like that. So I'm very excited that if anybody has watched or anybody has read the TWAB from this last week, all the different stasis changes. Now, if you don't mind explaining your kind of just involvement with PvP, what you do, how, like, what's your PvP, I guess, that you like to do?
I like to do trials, even though I know it's really not in a good place. I like to do Iron Banner because there's just stuff to do there. Every once in a while, I like to throw on some control. Like, it's just I like PvP. A lot of people give it a lot of crap, but I personally love Destiny gunplay, and I think like PvP is a good place to shine. I really enjoy sniping, and I've gotten a lot better, especially playing other games. Like, it's kind of funny how Destiny is the only game that you can play where you actively get better aim by playing other games, which I find really interesting.
Interesting. So the status changes, and I have the TWAB up over here on the.
Let's say
on
kind of
the
guess because
monitor here.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't read any of these because I was like, oh
I haven't
my
looked
gosh,
at like the
this is
official
so many.
Here,
numbers.
let me pull it up with you. Actually,
So
I
feel
got you.
free, and we'll kind of just go through the different changes. So a lot of things are changing, and this is happening on Tuesday, by the way, which is insane because they talked about there's this whole thing on Twitter #NerfStasis, where that kind of went on for the longest time, and it blew up. It truly did. If anybody didn't see that, if you're not on Twitter and you didn't see nerf stasis, you're living under a rock.
Yeah.
Especially if you follow a lot of the Destiny content creators, a lot of people took a stand, and I'm happy they did because it brought it. It seemed like it brought it along. Like they actually like, okay, something needs to happen, So looking here, there's just general stasis and just overall when it comes to freezing. It says reduced duration of all non-super freezes versus players to going to 1.35 seconds.
Yeah.
What's cool about that is you don't even have to worry about breaking out because it's so short of a time. They said that breaking out's not even gonna be a thing. So you'll just thaw, I guess they call it. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, keep going. I'm sorry.
I was just kind of reading down the stasis slow, which a lot of people in PvP had a problem with because of just how every ability seemed to slow everybody. You no longer have weapon accuracy damage, like no changes to weapon accuracy when you're slowed, which is a huge thing because you can have the best aim in the world, but if you're sitting in a dusk field, you're gonna miss your shots. So that's a big thing as well too. But the thing is, they're switching out weapon accuracy with weapon flinch. So I'm curious how that might change people's abilities of the stasis slow. And then one big thing as well too, which a lot of people complain about, is your air moves, whether that's dodging, whether that's Icarus dashing, even saying that the ionic blink and stuff like that from warlocks will be allowed as well too. So you get slowed, but then you can also dodge out of it as well too. So your maneuverability is not hindered. A lot of different changes to the fragments as well too. And then they just go into a lot of the different changes to the subclasses as well. So excited, Evan, are you or?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, just, I mean, I feel like there's not a single person that isn't excited about this. So we've had a lot of discussions about just stasis in general. And I think where my mind is at now and where I just kind of land, it's not even really a conspiracy to it. It's like kind of just what makes sense, because Bungie's sandbox team, for how much crap people want to give them, they're not stupid. Like they know what they're doing. They're professionals. Like they work on a AAA studio game. Like they work on a very, very important game. So like they're not dumb. They know what they're doing. But on the other hand, I don't think that sandbox team gets to make all of the decisions when it comes to a new super. So what a lot of people were thinking recently is that the reason why Stasis came out the way that it did, and the reason why that Stasis has stayed the way that it has, is because it is in an effort from a different department to push sales of free-to-play players, converting them to full price game. And I fully believe that, because these changes speak to me like this is how it should have came out. And you know, even then it's like I still see stasis being used, because freezing somebody or slowing them down in any capacity in a movement shooter is always going to be ridiculously powerful. But these are more balanced. The reason why I say that whole opinion is not to take away or not to like start this whole like, you know, controversy of things. It's because like realistically, they have the sandbox team has constantly said, I follow some of the sandbox team and they're always tweeting about how, you know, they wanted stasis to be less power. Like you can tell almost in the tone of their tweets that this wasn't really their decision. And if you're Bungie, you know, you have a huge free-to-play player audience. What would drive sales really well is the same thing that they, you know, we can use proof of what they've already done. Forsaken had some of the most busted exotics in PvP, especially like One-Eyed Mask, Gwiz Invest literally never got out of your super. Blade Barrage with Shards of Galanor, you always got your super back instantly. Ursa's in PvP when they first came out, Antaeus Ward when they got fixed. Like all these things were busted because they were meant to be. They were meant to just break PvP and then fix later, because that's the same thing that Overwatch does, or that did. That's what Rainbow Six Siege did. It's like, you know, Apex has done it. What drives sales is that a new character or a new ability or a new class is always going to outshine the old stuff for a long time. You know, that's what's going to drive sales, because nobody wants to get frozen, but if you can freeze somebody back, it's like probably way more satisfying for that player.
Yeah,
sure. I never looked at it that way, so it definitely opens up my mind to definitely makes a lot more sense thinking about it like that. So, but
yeah, that's strategic.
I think I will say that it's definitely, I mean, it's gone on for a long time since when did Beyond Light come out? What did November?
November. I think November 10th.
So we're going on 7-ish months now of just stasis ruling the Crucible.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times you go and can you count on one hand how many times you've gone into a PvP match and not seen a stasis subclass? I don't think we can.
I don't count on no hands.
I don't think we. I don't think even. Yeah, I think like one game. It was like really shocking.
Screenshot. I've seen one screenshot on Twitter of someone like, "Wow, no stasis."
Oh my gosh!
But I mean, I'm excited. I'm curious, and like you even mentioned it as well too, that stasis is still going to have a place. There will always be someone that's going to run stasis over other things, because you can slow, because you can freeze, because the supers are still really good and stuff like that. So I don't think this is the end of stasis, but I definitely think it's going to make people branch out and find different builds. And maybe, I mean, Chaos Reach is still really good as well too.
Yeah.
Top Tree Dawnblade is something that I'm very fond of.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love for Arc Strider to come back. That's my baby. But it's not stasis, you know? So going into trials, if you want to be successful and you want to be not at a complete disadvantage, stasis is probably still gonna be the schmoof. And that's what I hate to admit that, but it's just the truth.
It's still gonna be very powerful, especially in trials where the scenario is 3v3, close corners, all this other stuff. You know, a glacier nade is still a glacier nade, you know, and if you're in a tight corner and somebody puts a glacier nade down, like yes, you'll have a fighting chance. Yes, I see Spectral Blades coming back. I see Top Tree Dawn. I mean, I still use it because it's the only thing that can counter it to an extent. But I actually see like Bottom Tree Sunbreakers coming back with Synthoceps, and you know, I see more room for stuff, but I very much still see this conversation of, hey, it still needs to be tuned down even more. I still see that conversation happening, but you know, for at least the next like season, the Destiny community can be happy knowing that like a change that was supposed to come next season got pushed up because we spoke up. And so if anybody says, you know, obviously don't be a dick, be critical, but don't be mean. But like if anybody says, you know, why, like there's no point, don't be vocal about anything, like this is your evidence to like, hey, if you want to change in the game, talk about it.
Right. And that's what I was saying earlier with the whole quote unquote movement on Twitter of people really wanting stasis to be messed with, and this shows, in my opinion, this is literally cause and effect, you know, what happened. So
dude, this is us seeing. This is
I'm
us
also
seeing.
curious as well. Yeah, exactly. This is literally, we just watched.
I meant
the
like
community make a difference.
I'm saying like this is us seeing Bungie owning Bungie finally. Like I know it's been a minute, but like this is stuff they couldn't just like do instantly before. They'd have to be like, all right, we gotta go talk to Activision about this and this and that. Now it's just like straight up. We own this. We can change it if we want. Our players want it changed, so I guess let's do this and see what happens. It can't hurt.
Yeah. I'm curious as well too. I mean, because Stasis still has a place in PvE. Havoc, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Do you guys use Stasis in PvE? Do you see it being more beneficial?
I don't use Stasis in PvP really. Like I don't PvP much as it is.
Yeah.
So like all these changes, I'm happy for the PvP community. So it's one less thing you can stop bitching about. But
don't say that.
But I mean, I never use Stasis really. I'm comfortable using, you know, Dawnblade or even Geomag, our Warlock. That's about it. Sometimes I'll Slovo bomb it, but like, yeah, really, like, I don't care for Stasis in general. It's not fun for me, personally.
Even using it.
These changes aren't changing in PvE, right? This is a split sandbox now, right? Like these changes are only for PvP. PvE is staying the same.
Is that right? Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was correct or not.
The only thing that changes for PvE is the damage buff from freezing something is going to be reduced. But to be honest, we already have much stronger things than that anyway. So it doesn't really affect anything in PvE.
Cool. That's good. And that's what a lot of people are like, well, don't change my stuff. Don't change my stuff in PvE just because PvP people are complaining about it. Don't change my... Look how much... Look at this. Now we can all be happy together.
Harmony,
dude,
right?
And it's such a weird time to be playing this game because not only is the sandbox splitting, we're also now playing games with people on other like consoles, like PS4s, PS5s,
right, with
Xboxes.
The crossplay beta,
like that alone, like, and I know that's not what we're talking about, but that stuff has been like mind-boggling to me because, you know, like I'm a kid. When I'm a kid, I'm thinking like, dude, you're never like, these companies are always battling. You're never gonna be playing video games with someone on a PlayStation if you're on an Xbox, or if you're on a PC, you're gonna be playing with someone on a PlayStation. That's not gonna happen. And literally, I did that this week in a strike. That's crazy. Like outside of Destiny, like just in general, holy cow, I'm pumped about that kind of stuff. That stuff blows me away, especially for like the player base in Destiny, and on PC, it's probably gonna look a little bit larger whenever
I think
we start get to play.
We talked about this before about how different maybe even like the helping streamers are gonna be as well too, with the VOG helps, trials helps, comp helps.
Oh yeah.
Imagine the people are like, oh, I can't join you. I can't even join the raffle because I'm not on PC, or I can't join because I'm not on PS5,
so
or I don't have an Xbox. Well, doesn't matter what you're on now, you know. So, do you have what are your thoughts on the community that you have, Evan? Is it more so PC that you have, or is it more kind of divided evenly? Or
I think it's probably divided pretty evenly. Like I'd probably say the people that are always in chat or are always like in Discord ready, probably the people that are watching the stream right now from my community are mostly PC, but not all of them are. I know I'm excited to just raid with everybody. Yeah. And to kind of go back to your question about Stasis and PvE, do you use it? Yes. Actually, I think that Stasis and PvE won't at first, But I think as time goes on, people are going to realize how strong stasis is in PvE, and Bungie's probably going to tune it there too, because I promise you, if you've ever used the Bleak Watcher turret the Warlocks have in PvE, it is
Someone literally just
very
mentioned that last
strong.
night. Yes, I don't have that unlocked on my Warlock because I haven't played Warlock a lot recently, but
You can with that at Gatekeeper's encounter in that raid in Vault of Glass, you can freeze the Minotaurs, that the Praetorians, while they have their shield up, and you can push them off the map. It is like that. It is that level of free. Like it is.
If that doesn't say Vault of Glass, I don't know what does.
Oh, dude! When I was talking to the world's first team, right? Like when I was talking to them about this, I was like, do you guys use stasis in the raid at all? And they were like, nah. I was like, okay, so y'all are just built a little different then, because I promise you, if you use stasis in the first like 2 or 3 encounters, you would see that you would never be touched by an ad. And like, you know, my team, I was the only one that used stasis on my team, and I literally just like was never in trouble with it. Like it just freezes, and then it chains freezes, and then you can just kill everything again. And it's really powerful. It's really fun in PvE.
That sounds like a video. That sounds like a video that needs to be made.
We did our raid run on Friday. It's the first encounter before Atheon. We had to go from the portal to portal and defend the conflicts within the portal. Well, one of my clan mates was like, dude, use stasis. Gotta use stasis because it's so much easier. Because when the mobs come out and the freaking Vex chickens flying at you, they melt like that. Once they get frozen, dude, when you bust out your super, they just evaporate that easy. It was now you wanted me to use stasis like the first few encounters in VoG now just to compare what I normally run.
I know.
I'll say this. I'll say this real quick. To go off of that, it's not that the Bleak Watcher turret. I mean, it's that it's really just it's mostly that being the strongest one. And the reason for that is the same thing in PvP. When something gets touched by it, their aim and their movement slows down, and it chains the slow and it chains the freeze as well. So like you're literally always freezing things. But you know, Well of Radiance is still in the game, so like the way that it is right now. So I don't see anybody really like getting off of that or like wanting to change anything until like because Well is just really powerful. I mean, especially if you have Phoenix Protocol on, you know, you drop a Well, you kill some ads, you have it mostly back.
That super, you know, in your pocket.
Exactly. Those Masterwork orbs will probably get you close, if not there, at your super, and then you know your friend can pop a super as well. And then you have you're always gonna have a Well, you're always gonna have a bubble. Stasis for everything that's not a war. Well, I guess Hunters are really powerful too. Titans would be the weakest of the bunch, but even then, I still find them to be very strong with stasis. I think people are sleeping on it.
With, of course, everyone that raids knows that survivability is the biggest thing. You got to stay alive.
Right.
You have limited res tokens, so like you're saying, Well is just so dominant because of you get a damage buff, and you get an overshield, and it's you put it in such a wide angle, and with that exotic you mentioned where you just keep on getting kills and you get right back. It's I personally I haven't done anything other than that with that on that encounter, or even VoG in general. If I'm going into PvP or PvE on my Warlock, I'm most likely on Well, you know, just because of how just survivability, it benefits your whole entire team and not just yourself as well too. So
totally, no,
it's gonna be difficult. But I next time I go to VoG on my Warlock, I'm gonna run stasis. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna see. I have to get that. I have to get the turret first though. I haven't done that.
Get the turret. Run the exotic. You can either run Nezarac's Sin or you can run Eye of Another World, because Nezarac's, if you get void kills, will give you like your ability energy back really quickly, and it doesn't matter what class you're on. So you can be on stasis and get your abilities back. So you can just keep throwing turrets down like wherever you want, and it's really really good.
Gotcha. I remember the first time I saw that turret. If you guys ever saw Glad's video when Mayhem was out, when that aspect was first dropped, and he's in Mayhem on Javelin, and he just keeps on dropping the turret. Everybody just kidding. You just see the it looks like a Star Wars movie almost, because you just see the crossfire of all the different Starfire bolts, whatever the heck they're called. And I just like, oh my god, what is that? It just made me think of that video. And just all I could think of is just like Star Wars, just the pew 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 bullets going back and forth. Everybody's getting frozen and slowed. Oh, it was a beautiful video. But interesting. So we got stasis changes. I mean, we got all have you done it? I'm assuming you've done the expunge missions, the overrides. What do you think of that?
I thought expunge was great. I literally couldn't find a single thing that I could be like even critical of. Like it was just solid. Like that I think Destiny is at its best when there's fast-paced platforming and killing stuff. Like like platforming is very much a part of the game that I enjoy a lot. So I thought it was great.
I'm doing it tonight. I haven't got to do it yet. I've like just been playing VOG.
Yeah, go in without watching anything and just like, I mean, just literally don't know the route at all and just learn it, and it's really fun. It's really cool.
First time doing it was I was very impressed. And there's a new one every week as well too. So the next week is going to be something completely different.
That's awesome.
Completely different boss. Who knows if it's going to be another maze-esque thing or if it's going to be a time-gated boss or or damage-gated boss. Who knows? There's always a damage-gated boss, it seems like.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm like, bro, at a certain point, how many times are we gonna have a health gated boss? It's like, that's like their way to prevent people from just like mowing down everything. But at the same time, it's like, I just want to kill the boss. Like, we're already here. I don't want to have to like go through immune shields and stuff and do all this stuff. But I get it.
Full heavy, just let me do it already.
Because it's the only way to get it's the only way to get the mats to upgrade the whatever the splicer thing. So it's like, just let me kill this faster so we can keep doing these over and over again.
Yeah, and like there was only one way that you could pass the health gates in last season, and we did it on day 2 with the Titan chest piece Curious. If you slam all 3 at the exact same, like it took us hours of doing this, but if you slam all 3 with the chest piece onto the, oh god, what were those called? Not hunts, but they were the battlegrounds bosses. If you slam all 3 at the exact same millisecond on the battlegrounds boss, you can skip all the health gates. But that is ridiculous timing.
Yeah, holy cow.
That was.
I didn't do a lot of the battlegrounds. I didn't see. I think overrides, even though they are kind of boring and there's the same thing over and over and over again, I think the loot that you can get at the end and just the experience of how quick they do go pretty quickly if you're pretty consistent with it. But I think it's a lot better. It's one of the better seasonal events, especially with it being 6 people as well too. It's definitely one of the better seasonal events that they've produced.
Well, like
recently, I guess you could say.
So like I agree. Override is cool. I think like the first half, that first half
it's Gambit.
It's Gambit again.
Dude, it could be like, so much shorter that first half. Like maybe cut that time in half, and I'm like, so much better.
The first half drags. The second half is cool because once again you're doing platforming and you're like getting to the boss. One thing about like health gating bosses, it's fine doing like immune phases for bosses, but let me at least, like, if I've learned it, right? Like if I've really learned how to conquer this boss, I know like the best thing to do against it. Let me give me a way that if I've really outsmarted the game, I can pass that. Like a good example would be if you remember Nokris, the Mars boss, like that strike. If you had Wardcliff and it was heavyweight day or arc day, you just insta melt, like 3, 2, 1, killed Nokris. But like, oh, I messed up. Okay, well now we have to do a phase. So that's cool because then you give people an option to do things who are like really knowledgeable on the thing.
Almost like it lags. Almost like you did it just in time before the immune phase actually registered.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, because like cool. You know that on the Europa strike boss, you can actually kill it before it goes away. You can just thunder crash it and it'll die if you just all 3 thunder crash it.
The Glassway.
The Glassway
big
boss.
Hydra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the big one or the little one. You can just kill one of them instantly.
That's awesome.
I
love
told myself
that.
this yesterday. You mentioned Glassway, and then we had this conversation last night about. I told myself I really want to get Conqueror. I haven't done Conqueror yet. I've been stuck in PvP, just minding my own business. And someone said that Glassway is going to be this season when GM comes out. I was like, oh god, okay. So I had to like mentally prepare myself to go through that GM, and I've been having to rank up a lot recently. So. I gotta get some YouTube guides going on what I need to get and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm glad you said that. I
think Glassway on GM, you probably wouldn't be able to thunder crash it right off the rip. But Glassway GM is probably the hardest GM that we have in the game right now. Like a lot of people would say Proving Grounds, but
Sure.
I'd probably say Glassway. Yeah, that GM is kind of rough.
Oh, wish me luck then.
Yeah, I wish you the best of luck with it. You got it.
Yeah, my boy Frosty. He's one. I did Proving Grounds, and that was a lot of fun. He helped me out with that one. So.
Oh yeah, Frosty's got you.
Good. I'll leave him be. He can show me the way. Awesome, dude. I don't have any more questions for you. I appreciate you talking with us, man. It was a great conversation. So
Always.
Seriously, this was a good time.
I don't know if Havoc or Luke has any more questions for you, or maybe chat. If I asked chat if they had any questions.
They're just having a nice conversation in there.
Yeah.
I'm very much enjoying it.
Chat.
We don't usually interact with the chat just because
They're ignoring us. They're having their own conversation.
they're having their own thing. We don't usually do it just because
We'll
we
just
their
background
podcast.
noise
Yeah.
to them right now.
we record this and we don't want someone to be confused. But dude, it's so nice to meet you tonight. We want
Yeah, of course.
we're luckily, since this podcast is so new still, we're still getting new guests on every week, but we want everyone to come back eventually, so like we can get even deeper into whatever's happening, or if something is exciting is going on, we can get you back in here. But dude, it was so nice chatting about like your life and stuff you're doing. I'm excited for you to move to Texas. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah.
Texas
it'll happen hopefully in the next year, like from now till early next year. That's kind of the goal, is to just make the move out there. So I'm
Heck yeah.
excited.
Dude, real estate there, you can get a lot more for a lot less, and there's like no sales tax or something. So definitely
Yeah.
Possibility of us seeing you at GCX next year in Florida.
Oh, absolutely. I am so sad that the world
Same.
was hit so hard that like we just couldn't,
same.
that we
Especially-
couldn't have some time off and just hang out with everybody.
With how much I've kind of, because again, like I said earlier, I've played Destiny for the longest time, but I've just recently started, with picking up streaming and stuff like that, getting into the actual community of it, with Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. So meeting everyone, I met Luke a year ago because we randomly rated him and watched his stream. We just became friends. Havoc met through Luke and stuff like that, and then meeting you, meeting people in person is going to be so much fun, and I'm excited for it. And I was really upset that the first GCX that came around was
Yeah, me
canceled,
too.
so-
I had to like make my schedule. I have the most ridiculously intricate schedule, and I had it set so I could. It was going to be next week, right? Not this
think
week
so,
coming
yeah.
up, but the week after, and I had it set where I could
Yeah.
actually go, and we were going to film it, and everything was going to be sick, and then it got canceled. But then now next year, I'm literally booked on that weekend, so I'm kind of trying to figure out an exit. Like if I have to fire a couple, I might. No, I might. I'm not even kidding. I've been thinking about it because I'm going to have to delete every single social media platform, so I'm not jealous beyond end, because I won't be in Florida next year.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting there filming a stupid wedding. Sorry if you're watching this and I'm filming your wedding next year. It's not stupid. It's a great wedding, but
You're doing great, but we also got a vacay.
yeah, exactly. Gosh. Anyways, but dude, I because I want to talk. Maddox actually came and surprised me a few months ago, and so I met him in person a few months ago in Ohio, and then I met Havoc at Guardian Con. That's when I started streaming. We went to Guardian Con, and then I saw everybody's communities, and I was like, dude, this is crazy. These people like love each other and like care about the same thing, and it's awesome. I was like, I want to do that. So I came up with the name Bearded Luke in the hotel, and then I started streaming a week later, and then I've met literally all of you guys because of that. So it makes me really happy that it's a thing.
Dude, I'm so sad that GCX, like that was something I very much look forward to. So like the first time that I could have gone was 2018, the last GCX that actually happened in person. And the only reason I didn't go is because like my dad was fighting like a really bad illness. I mean, he's thankfully now cancer free again, so that's
Nice.
cool.
Awesome.
But I mean, he was going through like the rough of it, so I just wanted to be here like for him.
Of course.
And so like it was funny, like I was streaming, it was like Crown of Sorrow. I was doing like some raids with some people, and it was the funniest thing ever, because like all the people that wanted me to go, like there was a bunch of other like big creators, like I think Clyde, Sweatsicle, Glad, and like a bunch of other people came into my chat and were like, they were like, we're watching you at the bar right now, like why aren't you here? Get your ticket here right now. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. See, y'all are watching
That
me
is
at
awesome.
the bar at GCX, and then they just started gifting subs and having like just trying to outdo each other, because you could tell that some of them were drunk. So
Yeah,
they were just
dude.
like, all right, let's give subs, let's outdo each other, like, you know.
They were drunk because every time I
Weird,
walked
that's
by
funny.
the bar during that Glad and Clyde, whether it was both of them or not, they were just destroyed every time we walked by because people were just buying them everything. They're like, here.
They-
Glad like
they
lost
know
his
how to
wallet
party.
and everything.
That man lost everything. He lost credit cards, wallet, like it somehow got it back in time. So, bro, I'm so
Speaking of
I'm
spectacle.
so excited, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of sweat, like you said.
Bro,
Heck yeah,
I
dude.
just
Hey, he's in here. What's up, Sweat?
yo, it's good, Sweat. It's good, idiot.
What's up, idiot? What's up, idiot? Sweat, you want to be our guest next week?
There you go. Easy.
So,
Done.
but
Booked.
for real, now I might actually have to fire this couple and come next year.
The more we talk about it.
Oh no!
Yeah, you
Like,
might need to.
I want to be able to I want to be able to say what's up to Evan in person, give him a hug and maybe a kiss if he's
Hell
lucky.
yeah.
You know.
Hey, what are we saying? Hey.
I wonder what the stash is gonna look like at that time. The stash
He'll
might be
have the
grown
fireman
out.
stash by then, bro.
Ain't gonna be, you know. No, I'm very excited, dude, and like, you know, I got some vacation plans at the end of June that I'm looking forward to as well. So like,
Awesome.
talking to some peeps more about that after this. So I'm very excited to just like have a little bit of time off, dude, because like I've been just
grinding.
making content and grinding content for the past like 3 years. I need like a week.
Yeah, bro, give yourself a
Just
week.
a week.
Dude, I'm going on
Oh, yeah,
vacation
a
the week
week.
after next with my wife by ourselves. Just I'm pumped, dude. I haven't had a day off in like 6 months. I'm pumped. I'm gonna literally
Where are you guys going?
Charleston, South Carolina. That's what it's gonna-
Nice. Well, I mean, dude, anything to just like have a little tech cleanse and just like cleanse from everything. It'll make you just more
That's
excited
true.
to get back into it.
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely,
true.
Definitely.
Even if it's just a weekend or something like that, where you
I'm
can just get
pumped.
away from those
And
things.
then we might buy an
Definitely.
RV. We might be buying an RV when we get back. And so like Evan, right now we sold our house, and this has nothing to do with the podcast. So thank you for listening if you're still here. But we sold our house, paid off all of my student loan debt with the money from the house, moved into my in-laws. Like this is my in-laws' basement that my father-in-law helped me build so that we could. I helped him build it. I just held the flashlight and he built all this. And then so I'm like in a temporary zone right now, and now we're talking about potentially buying an RV and living in it. So I'm gonna try to potentially set up like a stream setup in there and stream out of an
Oh, that sounds
RV
dope.
because I haven't been doing
That-
anything because it's been tough down here just randomly trying to figure out what on earth to do. But what were you saying?
No, that sounds like that sounds cool. Like, because I think as long as you can get, you know, as long as you can get
internet.
like some good internet.
That's
yeah,
what I've
you're
been
just
worried
trying-
about.
Some mobile.
Like, I don't,
I'll
like,
just
I don't know
park-
how you're gonna have like a 2 PC setup with a Go XLR and like all this other stuff in an RV and like make that work. But I think you could. I mean, if there's anybody, it's probably you. Like, I think you make that work.
I'm gonna try to
Just gotta
figure it
hook
out.
up- Just gotta hook up land like your neighbor's house. Like,
Dude.
you just have one giant cord hooked up to the router.
I know. I'm about to park outside of my in-laws because there's my father-in-law ran an Ethernet cable like from one room outside the house. It's like outside the back door down to the basement. I'm about to just run that outside. I'll just have an
Strats.
Ethernet
Yeah.
cable going into the RV. Oh my gosh. But yeah, dude.
yeah.
All right. So okay, we'll do the exits here. I'm pumped. I'm pumped that we did this. This was fun. Thanks.
We had one question.
Oh, here's a
from
question.
chat here.
Let's hear it.
Yeah,
There was one question. He simply just wants to know, why does Evan look so fresh?
Oh.
I think it's the shirt, man. I think it's
Are we watching
hashtag-
the same stream?
Yeah.
I got tough lighting, a bad cam. Like this is
At least the
me at my
lights
worst right
outside
now,
have
boys.
gone down a little bit, so it's gotten a little
That's
bit
true. Yeah.
nicer.
You know what's weird is it hasn't really like changed as far
Right.
as like brightness at all. It's just like maybe a little bit of sunset, but I
There
have
you
like
go.
the lights turned off in here, just like make sure that there wasn't like a ton of light going in the cam. But yeah, you know, it happens.
We need like a side by side of Evan at the beginning of the stream, and then Evan now, so you can see the
Oh,
difference
dude.
in lighting.
If you watch, so this is one of the reasons why I don't stream in the mornings, because it gets really hot in here. Because I'm like,
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm in the middle of California where it's like 80 degrees, 90 degrees all the time, and then there's like sun coming through my window, 2 PCs, lights, small room, not a lot of like good airflow. Don't want to open my door because I still live with my folks, and like my folks are gonna get really mad with how loud I get on stream. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna close my door. Don't touch the thermostat either. That's like a rule. So I'm like,
Oh,
all right,
sure.
cool. Don't stream in the morning then, because sun goes here, and then it makes its way, and then about noon, bang, flashbang, like right in your eyes. So I have to like move my cam throughout the day. So I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to stream in the mornings.
I feel that. Cool, bro. Well, you said we'd love to hear what you're working on, where they can everybody, and I mean, a lot of people here know who you are, but for those that don't know who evanf1997 is, let us know what you're working on. If you have any big projects that you might be, if any secrets you got coming
Something
up.
with 25 pages apparently.
Yes.
So, so I got the raid video, obviously, but then there's another thing coming, which I'm announcing with the raid video, because essentially, like, first of all, I am looking for, and I'm gonna make a tweet about this tomorrow. My editor Danny, one of my best friends in real life, really good guy. He's done a really good job. But he's like he's not interested in video game content anymore. So he's found a job working for a professional lacrosse league, like as a social media person for them. So I am going to be looking for a new editor like as soon as possible. So if anybody in chat likes my videos, knows the style, knows how they could edit the videos, or thinks they could add anything to them, like it's obviously a good paid position and stuff, and open lines of communication whenever and all that stuff. And if you're looking for that editor role and you have a lot of experience, like send me your stuff and whatnot. The other thing is that with the Vault of Glass video, there's going to be 2 big announcements. There's going to be number 1, a video that a lot of people, it's like turning into the Half-Life 3 of Destiny. There's a 15th wish video, the unsolved mystery of Destiny 2's 15th wish.
Okay.
That is a very, very long and really cool video. It's like 50 plus minutes. That's going to be on a brand new Patreon that I've started to come out later on YouTube. It'll start out on Patreon. I'm going to give this a run, see how I like Patreon, and then move it to YouTube, because my type of content for YouTube wants me to be like a daily kind of poster, and I can't keep up with a lot of these channels. So I figured I'd at least try Patreon, because it would give myself like more breathability and make better quality content without feeling like I need to be like forced to make things on time.
Dude, Patreon's awesome. That's gonna work. I think you're gonna be that's gonna be really successful for you. Like, honestly, Patreon's like where it's at for creators, man.
Very excited. I mean, my whole thing is like, it's the one thing that I don't want to like make the perception of is that it's like only for money, because I know there's like a lot of people that would pin that as that, but for me, like, I think my thing always has been with like in regards to that is like gives me more chance to make better things while sustaining what we can already do. And that's the goal with that. And then there's also going to be a cool merch drop of stuff. And I actually have what's going to be on the merch. Let me grab it real quick.
Oh, yeah. This is what everyone gets when you stay to the end.
This is why you watch the podcast,
you watched it to the end. You get to
Getting
see.
spoiled here, chat. Getting spoiled.
I ran a limited time thing, and it's still up, but I ran a thing with this plate, and this is going to be on some limited time merch.
Oh, that is sick.
I'm getting it. I'm gonna be a Patreon instantly. I'll do the highest tier, please. Thank you.
Dude, that is nice. Well, you saw it here first, man.
It's like this Vault of Glass video is like a huge change for like everything, because there's like there's like a limited merch drop, and then there's like the Patreon, and then and then we just kind of go from there, because like right when this video is done, it's like so much weight gets lifted off my shoulders. Then I can do smaller videos that are like easier for me to do, and then I can also take that vacation. So it's like, okay, grind season.
Yes, dude. And I swear, Patreon, the dude who created Patreon created it so creators that are like content creators in a different form, not like the random, not like where I'm getting paid like on a contract per project. Patreon isn't all about money, but it is a really good place where creators can actually get paid for the content they're making properly, like in a more it's like a more controlled way of like finding. That's how I feel. Like, I don't think it's all about the money, and some people get turned off about that, but I appreciate that more than anything, because I freaking know how much work and effort goes into this. And like I'm actually a Patreon member, and a couple of my friends things because I just want to support them, and it's the best way to do it where I know that it's going right there to them rather than like through some weird thing on Twitch or YouTube or whatever.
Exactly. So. Yeah. Like YouTube is just so different from where I think like a lot of people would want it to be or like have an idea of where it is. So like having a way that you can take as much time as you want and still feel like, okay, I'm still like able to live the same life is a really cool, really cool opportunity. Yeah.
It's not as like randomly. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm pumped about that for you. Well, that's cool. Thank you for
sharing that. Yeah, holy crap. That was
of course.
That's a big thing.
That's sick.
That's sick, dude.
It's a lot of stuff. I'm nervous but really, really excited for it. It's a cool opportunity.
It's good
nerves. Yeah.
This is why you watch until the end. Okay, if you're listening, this is why you listen. That's why you watch. We have big announcements at the end.
Like time. Last week is when we announced Evan was going to be on before anyone knew. So good job.
Unless you watched the whole podcast last week, you didn't know.
And people were hyped until
Thursday.
So. Sweet, dude. So Maddox, well, I'll start. What are you working on? What's up next?
Yeah, so twitch.tv/Maddox. And on Thursday, we have a charity tournament. It's a 3v3 elimination charity tournament, continuing raising money for St. Jude. So hopefully we're at $960 at the moment, hoping for 2,000 by the end of that, but we'll see. We're going to just little goals for ourselves. So that'll be on Tuesday. If anybody's looking to join, create a team, it's all for charity. And you can DM me on Discord, or you can DM me on Twitch, on Twitter at Maddox on Twitch. If you're looking to join, participate, or even just watch, it's going to be casted on my Twitch channel. So
heck yeah, bro.
A lot of fun doing that.
All right, Havoc.
Yeah, for me, twitch.tv/xhavoc83x. My goal for this week is to finally finish my playthrough of Resident Evil Village. I think I'm like halfway through that one. I've been out of commission the last week or so due to getting the second shot. Finally got over that, so my goal is to finish that this week and then jump into more VOG with my clan and get some of that loot, and maybe I'll get a Vex next week. So
I hope you do, bro.
Please don't get it before me.
I hope he gets it. He's PV boy. He gets it first, okay? And
goodness.
I'm Bearded Luke. Right now, my life is in the weirdest place it's ever been. So I stream on Twitch sometimes. Twitch.tv/Bearded Luke. I'm trying to get back into content or some sort of schedule or whatever that I really enjoy, that I actually think is good. So just keep an eye out for that if you want to follow me there. We have some chill hangout nights on Twitch, and then follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/BeardedLuke. I finished the documentary, guys. Episode 4 came out this week. I don't know if you saw it, Havoc, but episode 4 is done. And
I already saw it.
You saw it? Did you like it?
Come on.
Okay, good.
Come
liked
on.
it.
That's a no.
It was good, man.
Sick. If anyone in chat or if anyone listening to this likes sports cards, look up Card Collector 2 and look up Building a Card Shop. It's a full mini doc. It's 4 episodes. It's about a documentary. It's a documentary about a card shop that
very well done.
Basically got rebuilt.
Well
awesome. It's a sweet video. I'm proud of it, and it finally came out. And that was 5 months of filming and editing, which is part of the reason I haven't been streaming. So gonna get back into that. It's gonna be fun. And dude, Evan, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was so fun.
We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Absolute blast having you.
We hope to have you back again in the future. And until then, we need a game soon. I tried to add you on Steam a long time ago, but your friend list was full, so I didn't get to.
Send me another request. I got the name Friend Destroyer F1997 because this season, if you had a full friends list.
Yeah,
we weren't able to play for
That's
like 3
true.
days.
So you probably thinned it out a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's Friend Destroyer F.
We'll have to play soon.
Love to see it.
We'll have to play soon. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Episode 21 is complete. That was super fun, and we'll hope to see you next time. We love all of you. Have an amazing night. Goodbye.